Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Some news coming out this morning. It was reported by David Ornstein that Gabriel Jesus' injury is looking like it's going to be a ruptured ACL, which is an absolute disaster for the player and for the club, but particularly for the player. I really feel sorry for Gabriel Jesus. Another long-term injury. That's why he was stretchered off in the game at the weekend. And if it's a ruptured ACL, which will probably be confirmed by the club either today or tomorrow, once they've done some of their further tests, that means that you're not going to see Gabriel Jesus for the rest of this season. Indeed, probably not even at the start of next season, because those sort of injuries take about a year nearly to heal. So Gabriel Jesus ruled out, and that's really devastating news for the player. And now, surely, Arsenal have to go into the market. I mean, David Ornstein saying that Arsenal now looking to go into the market. When I saw that, I was like, now it should be in the market already. Right, but now looking to go into the market and open to doing business, he said. And they're especially looking at overseas loan deals. Of course, they can't do any loan deals at the moment in the Premier League because they've already got two players on loan from Premier League clubs in, of course, Neto and Sterling. But they're looking at overseas loans as well as, possible signings they can make. Now, Josh Kroenke is apparently going to be at the North London derby tomorrow. Of course, Arsenal taking on Tottenham at the Emirates. He's apparently going to be there. Is it significant that he's in the country ahead of what's going on at the moment? Arsenal at the moment, I don't know if everybody's grabbed this. This is an injury crisis. You think about it, right? No Saka, no Jesus, long term. Possibly both of them could be out for the whole season. This is a crisis. You're talking about a couple of seasons ago, Jesus was our best player. Saka's been our best player. Those two forward players missing, right? Tomorrow night in that game, basically you've got Martinelli, Havertz, Trossard, and Sterling. That's it. Those are our attacking players, nothing else. There's no striker you can bring off the bench. There's no, you can only bring one wide player off. Honestly, we are absolutely threadbare. They have to go into the market and get stuff done, and get stuff done quickly. We're seeing how quickly Manchester City, I think they announced the signing of Vitor Reis today, or Vitor Reis. They're bringing in two defenders, and they're bringing in Omar Mamouche, and Arsenal seem to be, not doing anything, or seemingly, although this story came out today from Football Transfers. It was an exclusive from them, where they claim that Arsenal made a first bid to sign Dusan Vlahovic, and they did that last week. This is what they're claiming, that last week they made an offer to Juventus to take Dusan Vlahovic on loan till the end of the season. Juve apparently rejected that, but Arsenal did make that move last week. Now, remember, Dusan Vlahovic was sort of Arsenal's number one target a couple of seasons ago. He decided to join Juventus instead of coming to Arsenal. That was in 2021. And he's sort of been very hit and miss at Juventus. He hasn't really, done what they were expecting him to do. He hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been great. He hasn't lit it up, as we like to use that term. Now, as I said, Arsenal put in that loan bid for him last week, which was rejected. Juventus would either like to sell him, and they're looking for around about 50 to 55 million pounds for him. Remember, they've paid about 75 million pounds for him, but they're looking about 50 to 55 million. He does earn very high wages at Juventus as well, and they're trying to see if they can get a lot of that off the wage bill. Or they would be open to a loan, but they want an obligation to buy at the end of it. Now, In the market at the moment, Juventus seem to be trying to make moves to bring in Kolo Muani as well from PSG. So it does look like Dusan Vlahovic, could leave Juventus. And as I said, he's been a number one target over the years for Mikel Arteta. Could this be a deal that Arsenal get done before the end of the January transfer window? For me, they need to get it done quick if they are to do it. There's also some talk that Arsenal might try and accelerate a move for Benjamin Sesko. Now, last summer, Benjamin Sesko was the number one target for Arsenal, but he decided he was not leaving RB Leipzig, stayed there, and signed a new deal with them. Although lots of reports have been flying around that Arsenal are going to go and get him in the summer. That in the summer, that deal that he signed, even though long term, was to protect his value at RB Leipzig and also get him another season. And in the summer, Arsenal were going to make another move to bring the Slovenian in to the Emirates Stadium. However, with injuries to Gabriel Jesus, with injuries to Saka, they're talking about accelerating that and making a move to try and bring in Benjamin Sesko. It's also been a little bit strange that Leipzig are currently trying to sign Noah Okafor, although he is a left winger, not a striker, but they've been trying to sign him. Does that mean that they would be willing to let Sesko go this month? But rumours are that Arsenal could try and accelerate a deal to get Sesko. Sesko, 7 goals and 2 assists this season in the Bundesliga in 16 appearances. Hold on, that's about the same as what Havertz has done. Not exactly loads of goals, but listen, he's a striker and we need strikers. Also, another player that they may accelerate a deal to do is Nico Williams. Now, been spoken about, again, another one we were trying to get all summer last year, didn't end up getting. Nico Williams decided to stay at Athletic Bilbao. We know that Athletic Bilbao want to keep him. They don't want to let him go this month, but he does have that release clause of around about £50 million that Arsenal could activate. It goes up with inflation, apparently. They'd have to meet the release clause in full, which is something that Arsenal don't really want to do. Maybe they try and negotiate with Bilbao if they could get him. Also, last summer, he was really wanted, Nico Williams, by Barcelona. They were also desperate to sign him, and they were doing the usual sort of what Barcelona, Real Madrid do, and putting it out there that they want him and stuff like that to destabilise him. He did end up staying, but Barcelona have really cooled their interest on trying to sign him right now because of how good Rafinha's been. Rafinha has been absolutely brilliant, probably their best player this season. Rafinha, who they were looking to move on. Rafinha definitely not going anywhere at the moment because he's absolutely on fire. Scored a couple again in their 5-2 win over Real Madrid in that Super Cup over in Saudi at the weekend. So Nico Williams not wanted by Barcelona now. Arsenal could go and get him, and they may try and accelerate that deal to get him. Listen, we need signings. So I can understand why they try and accelerate that. But one to keep an eye on definitely this transfer window. And also this one, Elye Wahi. I remember him scoring against Arsenal, against Lens. Did he score? Well, actually, listen, I remember him playing against us. He was electric in that game. I'm sure he scored. Let's try to remember. Yeah, he scored, didn't he? But anyway, exciting youngster. Was at Lens last season. Electric pace. Good player. Good young player. Got a big move from Lens to Marseille in the summer, but it hasn't worked out. He's not been starting games. He scored 3 goals and had 1 assist this season, but he's not been the main guy at Marseille. And there's a lot of rumours that Marseille will be willing to loan him out until the end of the season. Now, the team that's been really desperately trying to sign him is West Ham. We know that West Ham have also, a bit like Arsenal, have got a real crisis up front. You know, we know what happened, the accident to Mikel Antonio. Jared Bowen's out long-term, and Nicholas Füllkrug just picked up an injury for them, so he's out as well. They're very interested in signing him. But could Arsenal move to hijack a possible loan deal for Elye Wahi? He can play as a centre-forward. Primarily, he can play on the right wing, he can play on the left wing, and importantly, he would be available on loan, and that is attractive to Arsenal. You don't have to commit. You know what I mean? You bring a player in, he's a reinforcement, and as I said, you don't have to commit to buying out Arsenal. We know how they operate. They have their definite targets that they really want to get. Could Wahi be an option? One to keep an eye on, although West Ham still probably favourites to sign him. And finally, Jorginho. Lots of interest for him coming from Brazil. I spoke yesterday about the interest from Palmeiras and how they've been in talks with him. Flamengo now also in talks. They've opened talks with Jorginho's representatives about signing him. Of course, he can speak to any club he wants to right now because his contract is up at the end of the season. Jorginho probably won't go this January, but Flamengo interested in signing Jorginho. So those are the rumours for today. Are things starting to hot up for Arsenal, especially in light of the news about Jesus? We'll have to wait and see, but certainly let's get his skates on. Arsenal need signings up front. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.